What is up, everybody? Oh, and speak of the devil, crazy. As soon as I start this live stream, a Postmates delivery pops up. Let me see what it is real quick. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm actually gonna take that one. So I created this live stream tonight because it's Monday night. I have started to drive just about every night. I usually take off Wednesday nights because Wednesday nights are generally dead. I've learned that recently. So, especially when there's no students in town. Now, it may be changing now that we're starting to head out of winter a little bit. It's really odd saying it's winter time because here in Nashville it's like 60 something degrees. It's getting a little windy. I think it's supposed to rain a little bit, and the temperatures are going to drop a bit. But anyway, if you didn't already know, I'm a Music City driver, otherwise known as Chris. Got my Uber beacon here providing a little ambient light. But anyway, I've also got my Lyft amp too. But I wanted to give some thoughts as to delivery apps. So during the winter lull, in my opinion, it is really good to add something like Postmates and maybe even Uber Eats. However, at this point, I'm only going to I'm only going to endorse Postmates because Uber Eats has been oversaturated for a long time. And you can sit there on Uber Eats only and turn on your app and not get a single request for an hour or more. I've done it. So I created an Uber Eats only account. I don't know if this is technically legal, but I've got an Uber Eats only account and I've got an Uber driver account. It also has Eats on it, but I just rarely turn Eats on there because I hardly ever get a request on there for a delivery. So I've been doing Postmates, and I'm pretty picky on my Postmates delivery orders. I cherry pick them. So when Postmates requests come in, and I should have screenshotted that one just so you could see, it will show you where the location where you are and the location where the pickup is located. This one happens to be at Bricktops on West End Avenue. Man, been flipping hard goods. Thank you, first of all, for watching and welcome to the video. Grubhub, I don't like Grubhub, I'll be honest. DoorDash also gives me some bad vibes. I thought about doing DoorDash, but then I got on a local group here in Nashville, a local Facebook group, and people were complaining left and right saying DoorDash lied to them about getting bonuses and lied to them about this, lied to them about that. And Grubhub, honestly, is about the same. I have had more trouble with deliveries out of Grubhub than Postmates, and I've done far more Postmates orders. I've done over almost 100 Postmates orders now, and that was from my my very first stint over a year ago until the stint right now that I've been doing Postmates. The other night, I did Postmates Saturday night. Strangely enough, excuse me, I gotta get my beard trimmed. This is getting in the way. But anyway, I haven't tried the charging birds, but Harry the rideshare guy has talked about it some. I see people, there's some people that are serious about that charging birds thing, but I'll come back to that in just a moment. But Grubhub, I've had several orders where people just the order never went through to the restaurant, or the app wasn't on, or they told Grubhub they were not going to be doing orders tonight, and they still let people send the orders through the app. And then you drive all that way, get there, and they say, hey, we're not doing Grubhub orders tonight. And I'm like, okay. So I go call support, and they're like, oh, well, they should have told us. I'm like, they said they did tell you. I'm right here at the restaurant. And, and it just turned into a big thing. And the problem is, when that happens, guess how much you get paid? $0. You get paid not a dime, not a penny. You don't get paid at all for your time, for your driving to get it, etc. And it happened to me 2 or 3 times in one night. And that was where I got to the point where I was like, no way. This is ridiculous. They do have guaranteed pay on Grubhub of $11 an hour here in the Nashville, Tennessee region. But that's if you maintain a 90% acceptance rating. And their dispatching system is absolutely horrendous. It will send you 10 miles away to pick up an order and drive it a mile. And you don't get paid while you're driving to pick up the order. So keep that in mind. That's why on Postmates I do them. If I do them, I see, that's actually a pretty good distance. It's really close, right beside me. Postmates does a pretty good job of that, actually, and it's going a good distance, and it's from an expensive restaurant because they base your tips on the total amount of the ticket. So if it's a $60 order, you could, from what I hear, Postmates recommends 20%. If they did the 20% on a $60 order, do the math there, it's $12. So the other night I did 4 orders, a total of 2. It was 2. So they do kind of a thing like Uber and Lyft does. They stack deliveries on you, right? So you can either get a delivery stacked on you from the same exact restaurant, or you can get a delivery that is coming from another restaurant, going in the same general direction you are, and then you end up going to pick up one, going to pick up the other, blah blah blah. It routes it for you. So I had 2 different times where that happened. One was from Bellagio Pizza over here off of West End, and the second one was Tin Angel. And Tin Angel is, if you're from the Nashville area, Tin Angel's a pretty pricey little place, right? So I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I'll take that. So I took that. Both of those were prepaid, pre-order, and that's the catch with Postmates. Some of their orders are prepaid, pre-ordered, and you don't have to worry about it. Some of them are not. In fact, this Bricktops, I'm probably going to have to go inside, order it, wait for it. They pay you for waiting, but it's 10 cents a minute. I mean, that's not much at all. So, but it's about the same time if you think about it. It's about the same with Uber with wait time. I think it's 18 cents a minute on them. But anyway, I digress. But so I picked up one pizza, shoved it in my pizza bag that I got from Grubhub. That's one reason you should sign up for Grubhub, though. Even if you don't drive for them, is you do get a nice big pizza delivery bag and a regular little zip-up hot bag. Postmates also sends you a little hot bag, and Uber Eats, I think you have to buy your bag, which kind of sucks. But so I put that in my bag because I knew I had to go pick up again. So when I picked up Tin Angel, both of them were ready when I got there. Dropped them both off. Ended up getting $11 in tips on those 2. The second one was 2 orders for Pastaria. One went to a student at Vanderbilt. One went to a lady. I got $5 and something tip on that, and $4 was the total payout on that one, or $6 or something like that. But I didn't get tipped on the Vanderbilt one, probably. The thing is, tips don't show up till about a day or 2 at least. Sometimes they'll show up a month later, strangely, but it depends on when people open their app to order. So and it took me about an hour to do 4 deliveries, and I made a little over $30. So it's not bad, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful which ones you take. You got to be careful what restaurants it is, and you got to be able to. You got to set your Postmates thing, your little icon. You have a choice of vehicle, right? So if you choose a car or a truck or a van, you don't get to see what's in the order. If you choose bicycle or moped, little scooter looking thing, then you can choose that, and you can see how many items are in the order, and you can see what they are. So you can usually tell, especially after you accept it and go through, you can tell how much the order is going to be. And like I said, your tip amount is based on the order amount, so keep that in mind. Going back to the bird things, I have seen some people getting really super serious about that. I saw a guy with a pickup truck with a trailer, like one of those trailers that you put like a race car in or something, you know what I mean? I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a long trailer, covered, completely covered. It's almost like a utility trailer, I guess you'd call it, where people put a bunch of tools and stuff, like carpenters and stuff, put their saws and sawhorses and all that crap in them, probably. It was that kind of a thing, but this guy was going around and picking up scooters in that thing. He had the back of his truck was completely full, and then he was putting them in this trailer. He was serious about that. So I don't know how many he had, but man, can you imagine how many cords and stuff he'd have to charge that many freaking scooters in one night and get them back out on the street the next morning? I don't know. I mean, I've heard about that, and I've heard about being a bird mechanic as well. I'm not really sure I'm up for either one of those. I could fit a bunch in this Yukon. I could take out this 3rd row seat, and I could cram scooters in here till the cows come home. Get me about 30 scooters in this joker if I wanted to do that. But I've got a bunch of dogs, and they would probably chew the cords up and chew on the tires, and it's not for me. I got too many critters at home. But anyway, so if passenger apps are slow, you can always turn on these delivery apps, Postmates, etc. I better get to this Postmates. It's a pretty big order. It looks like it's going over to a rich part of town, like Bellevue, Belmead area. So I better get to getting this, because I'm gonna have to place the order probably to be able to do it. So I'm gonna have to place the order and pay with my little Postmates card every night during the week. No. Said that a little bit earlier. I know you probably just joined, but I've tried and tried Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, just for me, are no dice. They are no good. Wednesday nights are just usually dead for me. I have no idea why. So I usually take off Wednesday night. I didn't drive last night because I felt like it was going to be really slow. This last weekend was really, really slow. I actually went home Friday night. I usually don't do that. Come on, lady, or dude, or whatever you are. Sorry. This guy was like backing out of a space, taking forever, and then I guess he forgot to turn his lights on. So he stopped in the middle of the parking lot and almost ran into him because he was going, and then he just suddenly stopped. Anyway, and yes, I'm doing this video while I'm driving. I'm going through a parking lot. I'm about to go out to West End to go to Bricktops. I'm like half a mile, if that, from Bricktops. Place this order, and I'll hang out in Bricktops bar for about 20 minutes or more, probably. But I don't have any other passenger requests at this point. It was exceptionally slow here Friday night. I don't know what the deal was, but it was dead. And when I say dead, it was dead. I had a couple of regular Lyft ride requests that were just too far away. They were 10 minutes or so away in the direction I just came from, and I just didn't take them, and I probably should have taken them. But I only had like one Uber X request all night long. Didn't have any Uber XL requests, no Lyft XL requests. I only worked for about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, because it was so slow. All I did was one Postmates order. I think I made about $10, tip and all. Actually, I may have to go back and look at that, see how much I made on the tip. It's 5:30 here in Nashville. Still dark early, of course. Traffic's picking up, so there may be some people coming out soon. Yep, a lot of airport runs, but man, Friday was dead. Totally dead. Saturday was, honestly, it wasn't dead, but it was close to being dead. I started late Saturday. I didn't start until about 6 o'clock. I had my apps on the whole time from home. Sometimes I'll be lucky and catch one from Fairview. I'll be lucky and catch one from Dixon, going all the way to town sometimes going to the airport. You never know. Had that happen a couple times, so I always keep my app on at home, even if in the boonies, because, well, on Lyft it counts against you, but on Uber, if you have your app on sitting there and you're not moving, it doesn't count against your clock, your 12-hour clock. I don't know how many people know that, or if they know that and forgot, but you can leave your app on all night long if you wanted to. But Saturday, I think I made about 180 or so. I'm kind of gonna do away with the Money Mondays. I feel like it's getting a little ridiculous, honestly. I don't know, maybe they're useful. Let me know in the comments if you guys like the Money Mondays or not. I used to do a Money Monday recap every month of the week before, 3 to 6:30. I generally don't get out until 4 or 5 at the earliest. Depends on what time I get into my day job. I'm trying to get into my day job earlier so that I can get off a little bit earlier, but sometimes the rush hour you can make some decent money in the rush hour. A lot of times you'll get an airport run during that time, especially from the hotels. People will be leaving at 5 o'clock trying to get to the airport, you know. A lot of times they'll tip you well, though, because they know the traffic's bad. Most of the time they are leaving early, plenty of time, so I haven't had a problem with that either. But I know some ways around. No pun intended, ways helps a lot, but I know some ways around where you don't have to go straight out the interstate, because as you probably know, especially on a Friday evening, Thursday evening even, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's gridlock down at West End, Broadway. Well, Broadway, technically at that point it's Broadway and the interstate right there, because all those interstates converge in that one freaking area, and it is a nightmare. And then you got 24 that backs up, and you got to get over to the 40 lane, you know what I mean? So you got to get Gotta do some maneuvering to do that. But I don't know what the heck that was. I feel like something just, I heard something go on my car. That was weird. I think it was a tree limb or something. Anyway, sorry. But it can be useful to drive during those times. Yeah, 3 p.m. is crazy downtown. I try to stay around the perimeter of wherever I drive, whether it's downtown, midtown, etc. I try to stay on side streets. That may or may not help you, I don't know. But I try to stay on the side streets so that I can try to avoid some congestion, because I do know some shortcuts, you know. Some shortcuts around town that you can get from neighborhood to neighborhood pretty quickly. Like, that might be a video I do, actually, to help people out. I may try to do that. I may try to do a video of, you know, places that you can go, streets that you can go down to cut through. Sorry, I'm trying to find a parking space for brick tops, which may be easier said than done. Yes, knowing all the streets is very helpful. Definitely recommend doing that if you can, because it will save you a lot of time. Well, this Bricktop's parking lot's actually pretty large. I didn't realize their parking lot was this big. Anyway, sorry. So I'm going over there to Bricktop's here real quick. But yes, knowing all the streets around Nashville is very helpful. It's helpful. I've lived here twice now. I'm from Memphis originally, but I've lived here a total of 2 times, from 96 to 04, 2011 till present. So I've been here again almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years next month. Well, actually, it's probably 8 years now because I moved before I got my job. So, yeah, Bricktops. Bricktops is pricey. That's why I picked it up, because it's a large order and it's pricey. So, got my little handy dandy Postmates bag. Yes, I've lived here for a total of 15, 16 years. I'm gonna go mobile here for just a second, guys, because I need to get in here for this Bricktops order. I'm gonna go on an adventure here. I'm probably gonna have to drop you guys off here when I actually go inside, because I'm gonna have to switch over to the Postmates app. Had an extreme close up there for a second, sorry. But yeah, I've lived here for a while, and I've lived all over Nashville. I've lived in South Nashville, lived in East Nashville, lived south of town in a little bitty town called Chapel Hill. I've lived all over the place. But as you can see, this is where I am right now. I'm at the back of Bricktops. I'm gonna come around the side here, and Bricktops is usually noisy too inside. So with that being said, I will report back later. Maybe I'll do another live stream later. If you guys like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I actually live south of Dixon. I'm in the middle of nowhere now. But if you guys like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit the little bell if you hadn't already hit the little bell for the notifications whenever I go live. Then you'll know. But I'm about to go into Bricktops here, place this order, and I will talk to you guys later.